morning. My name is Louise Mathison. I'm a businesswoman, an author and a mum. And I thought before I get into my topic this morning, I'd just give you a quick overview on my life. So my business experience, I have over 30 years of business and leadership experience. Most of my experience is in the corporate world in Sydney, in corporate real estate. I worked for JLL, Knight Frank, Colliers. My last 7 years in corporate was with Colliers. I ran their office leasing business in North Sydney and I was a national director for them. I've got over 20 years of mentoring groups and individuals, and 2021 I established DDA Queensland, which I'll talk a little bit about in a minute. I'm a mum of these two beautiful young women. They are my greatest accomplishment. I raised both of them on my own for 15 years. And off the back of that experience, I published a book 18 months ago called Living My Best Single Mum Life to encourage single mums in their journey. So that's me. My business, a little bit about it, is Design Doctors Australia. We are a healthcare design and fit out company. And I thought I'd just show you a couple of photos of our recent projects. This is East Coast Plastic Surgery in Southport. And this one is another plastic surgeon in Southport. This is the Coastal Clinic, and that's Dr. Drew Cronin. But this morning I thought I'd share with you a couple of key learnings that I've taken over 30 years of business, and particularly, well, some of it over the last 3 years. Can you just scroll that down?
Sorry.
So my first,
Thanks. Was more
Thanks, Campbell. So number one is relationship is key. So my key to success has always been and always will be my desire to create quality relationships with the people in my sphere of influence. And that might be my clients, it's my contractors or my colleagues. So 3 years ago, I moved to the Gold Coast and I established my business, Design Doctors Australia. My business partner already had a business, Design Doctors, established in New South Wales, but I came up and opened this business. But it's very difficult to start a project-based business with no track record. So it took me about 7 months to sort of build relationships to the point that people were happy to refer business to me. And I'm happy to talk about the practicalities of that another time, but at the moment I just want to talk about that, you know, to build a referral-based business, you have to be relatable. People are going to have to want to work with you. So authenticity is important, having integrity is important. If people trust you, they will, and they like you, they will want to work with you. A really important thing I find in relationships is actually showing interest. Turning up, being engaged, listening. If you sit down with someone, most often not, they sit there and talk about themselves. Don't be one of those people. Be someone who is engaged, who shows interest and listens, and that's how you draw people into relationship with you. Number two, work with contractors who support your vision and share your values. So my contractors are my reputation. Fortunately, their values align with mine, and they're easy to work with, they're reliable. I know they're not going to charge hundreds of variations. The clients are going to enjoy working with them. So I have a shared vision, and my shared vision with my contractors is to create beautiful space on time and on budget. And if your values don't align together, then it's detrimental to your reputation. Next one. Number three is know who you are and what you've got to offer. So what are your strengths? What are your talents? What are your skills? And what are your values in your personal, as you as an individual and as a business? No one is good at everything, but every one of us is good at something. So everyone is unique. There is something that you can do better than anyone else you know. And there's things that I can do better than anyone else I know. So be confident in who you are and then get support for the areas that you're not strong in. And when you operate in the areas that you're strong, you will find contentment and purpose. So life's too short, in my opinion, to live without purpose. And knowing your purpose starts with knowing who you are. And, I worked with a business coach in Sydney for a few years, and he taught me how to live my purpose every day in everything that I do. And that purpose is doing what you do best in order to make a difference in someone else's life. 4 is seek wise counsel. I've always surrounded myself with wise people, people who build me up, people who encourage me. I never make major life decisions or business decisions unless I go to someone and get advice. So that might be friends, it might be business associates, it might be mentors. You might need to pay a business coach. Always seek wise counsel. We're not meant to do life alone. We need people to champion us, to build us up, to encourage us. And that's always been really important to me. Number 5, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. And I hate being uncomfortable. And I've had so many days where I just haven't wanted to turn up. I've said to friends, I can't do this. I don't want to be brave. I don't want to face this. And I know that everyone here who owns their own business have had those moments. But we just have to keep showing up. We have to deal with what's on our plate. And one of my old bosses used to say to me, look, something that's a problem today is really going to be a problem in 2 or 3 weeks' time. And generally things usually work out. So he was right about that. To grow, we have to be prepared to step out of our comfort zone. I'm now taking on projects that I wouldn't have even considered taking on 3 years ago. But I've surrounded myself with people, contractors that can support me in that. And I've grown in my confidence as a businesswoman to be able to step out and do that. Now this one, my last one, and this is going to be the best advice I'm going to give you all year, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Yes, have a succession plan. My New South Wales business partner died 8 weeks ago, and he left no plan, no instructions in the event of his death. So no passwords, no one to step in to run the New South Wales business, no access to the New South Wales bank account in the middle of projects. Fortunately, his daughter works for me, and she figured out how to get into his phone. She figured out how to get into his computer. It's just been like digging through a pile of rubble. I've had to step up as the Queensland director for the business. I've had to step up and try and sort everything out in New South Wales. So it's like digging through this pile of rubble piece by piece, putting a jigsaw puzzle together, the stress, the anxiety, it's just been really full on. So people don't think, it sounds morbid, people don't think they're going to die. But I'd said to Mike 2 weeks before he died, I said, could you just send me the superannuation login details? Because he managed all the superannuation for the staff. And I just said, if something happens to you, I just need to know how to access that. And he laughed. And then 2 weeks later, he died suddenly. And then, of course, it's been a mess for me to sort out the superannuation. And we've got staff overseas, and he was responsible for paying those. And again, setting up the process all over Christmas, that just took delays. Anyway, so that's have a succession plan, have a will, and make sure you've got someone reliable who can step in relatively easily to sort out what's going on in your business. I've got people who aren't paying invoices now because they know that Mike's died. So people will take advantage of that situation. So anyway, so that's my 6 points for this morning. Any questions?
I'd like to say well done, Louise. And I think what you said, genuine, meaningful, and it makes you think, even with a group like this, how parallel a lot of your thoughts are with a lot of people within this group as well. And it's really a growing arm from what you have said. But I think that was second to none. Yeah?
Thank you.
So, any questions of Louise? Or